From Rupp Arena in Lexington, Kentucky, the #1 ranked and undefeated Kentucky Wildcats and the 18th ranked Arkansas Razorbacks. With Bill Raftery, Kevin Harlan, our starters this afternoon. At the bottom of that right side, you see some terrific players. Willie Cauley-Stein is the elder statesman. Bobby Portis on the Arkansas side is the second leading scorer in the SEC coming into this one. And there is a look at Trey Lyles, and John Calipari called him this week the X Factor for the Wildcats.
Well, every week he has a different X Factor. There's so many talented kids here. He has provided a lift. I want him to take that open jump shot and put it on the deck as well.
And look at this. Arkansas has beaten Kentucky 4 of the last 5, 3 overtime games, and twice last season, Arkansas beat the Wildcats.
It's all about rhythm, and Kentucky can control the tempo of the game and not cough it up.
Terrific crew led by Doug Shows. 2 Final Fours, a couple national championship games, Alandis Poole and Mike Nance. And away we go in Lexington.
Kevin Harlan right now. Arkansas goes. Minuteman, and then my favorite play, a little brush screen. Say goodnight if that happens regularly. Not great preparation, a little pressure by the Wildcats.
Trey Lyles coming off a career-high 18 points Wednesday night against Mississippi State.
Well, you got to be ready. Great high flyers. They pass, they're unselfish.
Arkansas in second place in the Southeastern Conference in sole possession by 2 games with a miss outside and an Aaron Harrison rebound.
It's important to score and ring the bell so they can set up their defense. Too easy.
They got to plug it up, and inside they go with Karl Anthony Towns.
Boy, how impressive was he at practice yesterday? His work habits, diligent.
He's 6'11" and still growing.
Now they're going to try and drag him away from the rim. Get Portis involved in ball screens, pick and pops.
They'll go outside. Here is a freshman Beard. And on top, they go to Harris. Kentucky is so long. Trying to get the ball inside is tough. Portis does. They finds an open guy right there. That's Alandis Harris, a senior from Little Rock.
And a great back screen there. Andrew Harrison gets caught. Wonderful look. This is their game right now. They come at you with consistency from different angles.
Wildcats haven't played a ranked opponent since mid-December when they took on then number 4 Louisville and beat them by 8 in Louisville.
That is a deep and talented team. Good help.
And a pickpocket right there by Beard, who's the freshman of the week in the conference. And up he goes and picked up by Portis. The trailing Qualls, and they'll reload. Beard, he is fearless as he takes it in.
I would say with Towns there, dominating.
You expected the space, didn't you, Bill?
No, the speed's incredible. Both teams, you've got to really get back and identify some range, and that is something. The kick out, Aaron, able to knock it down.
Aaron Harrison knocks it through. Kentucky, the only remaining unbeaten team in college basketball at this level. And here comes Portis, a sophomore, and a good one.
A little nickel dimer there on Towns. Trying to ward off. Portis, a talented kid, can stay outside, and they also put it on the deck. I don't think he'll get as many post-ups with the powerful Towns.
There's a look at Mike Anderson. He has taken this program, and in 4 years, he's transformed it what he thinks they should be. They're 23-5. Harris from outside over Cauley-Stein with a rebound hauled down by Karl Anthony Towns.
They got to get back and identify.
Andrew Harrison, and outside Trey Lyles. Lyles has got the stroke.
He's going to look for that shot. They drummed it into him.
Qualls the other way.
Pretty low.
Inside. Oh, what a nice knockdown by Cauley-Stein. He got high and chops down Harris.
I can't believe the effort. That's the difficulty when you play this team. You think you've got one beat, the other collects at the rim. What an effort by truly one of the great athletes in NCAA basketball. This kid just brings it. And Cal has challenged him to be more consistent in that area.
And the full court pressure by Arkansas.
And not coughing it up. That's key. Ball protection.
Cats beat Mississippi State in Starkville earlier this week. The drive by Andrew Harrison. And he hits the deck hard. John Calipari is in his 6th season as the coach of the Wildcats as Harris picks up the foul. He has had 3 teams going to the Final Four. 5 of the last 8 teams he's had have been #1 like the team he's got right now.
He's amazing because he doesn't lose here at all.
No.
It's utterly incredible. What, 100-4, folks. 4 losses during his time.
Kentucky Wildcats, Bill, traveling a very historic road in search of the perfect season. And the journey continues today against the second-best team in the SEC.
And the interesting, the drive to the basket for Harrison was there because Portis was tied up with Towns. You can't get that guy who can negate. You got to be honest defensively.
Arkansas has missed their last 4. Look at that 7-footer, Cauley Stein on the perimeter.
And the Qualls, too, a guy that needs that deep corner is his shot. Number 24. They worked on it yesterday. Make sure he doesn't get a look. A good cut.
Andrew Harrison is on Beard. Here comes Madden. He bangs inside into Towns. He picks up a foul. That's the second on him.
Kevin, you've got to get to the lane. You've got to hit the floater. You've got to dribble there and kick and step in for threes. The activity's magnificent by the bigs of Kentucky.
Here is Rashad Madden at the line. He is second in the SEC in assists. Kind of a point forward, big size at 6'5" and a senior.
A crafty player.
And the first of a couple right here. The CBS Sports app is the only app Arkansas and Kentucky fans need. Get instant scores, real-time alerts, expert picks, tournament projections, and more. Download the CBS Sports app now. Towns with a couple fouls will head to the bench. That means that sophomore from Brooklyn, Dakari Johnson, terrific post-up defender, is now in for Calipari.
Just rolling another 6'10", 6'11 guy. Nice and easy. I'm impressed thus far by Kentucky, able to handle the pressure. No rotations, no zone yet by Mike Anderson's guys. A little double screen.
And they go down low. Here is Dakari Johnson, quickly doubled. Andrew Harrison, Aaron Harrison, the 3.
Got to come up with those. Can't give them second chances. Good job.
Portis gets it. Portis had the 22-point performance earlier this week. Nice drive. Madden to Harris, who gets the 2 for the Razorbacks.
You've got to become available. What a sound basketball play and maneuver.
Andrew Harrison outside to Lyles. Dakari Johnson. Another rebound by Portis, who is all over the joint for this Arkansas team.
This team's got their legs now, playing with a lot more confidence, challenging. And this is what Portis can do. Once in a while, he'll ring the bell. Not that time.
We always talk about their visiting team in this kind of environment, withstanding the emotion of the building.
Absolutely. He's a 47% free. Doesn't take many of them. It's a great atmosphere, though, isn't it, for college basketball?
The best, yeah. And like we said, it's been a while since they've been challenged like this. They opened up the Southeastern Conference season with a couple of overtime games, wins, but nonetheless taken to extra periods.
I watched a bunch of those. A nice denial that time. Good job by Qualls.
2 turnovers for Kentucky.
Not a good look.
Thrown the other way and picked up by Aaron Harrison. That's the first Arkansas turnover. Andrew Harrison.
He had choices. Had his brother. They didn't know who to play. Stayed in the middle.
He's got 5. He's been playing better. Didn't score all that well earlier in the week, but he's had a nice string of about 8 games for the Cats and averaging over 11 points a game. Portis with the spinner right there, and he gets it to go. Bobby Portis.
A little deep, but got away with it.
He's had 20 points or more 10 times this season. And he's the best shooter in the Southeastern Conference. Even though he plays well inside, nice outside shot.
He really understands that pick and pop maneuver, mid-post. There's that little curl play and duck in. Got to be ready for it.
Dakari Johnson.
Shaq-like with the discard.
Beard. Qualls. They go back on top as Harris finds himself way outside and picked up by Cauley Stein.
Now you got to really get good shots. Can't feed this team.
Kentucky with an early rebounding advantage, which you might expect for a team with 5 players over 6'9".
Is this game quick enough for you, Kevin?
It's terrific.
It's unbelievable.
Wonderful. I need to watch.
Quick 6 minutes.
Nice skill. Big-time players. There's a foul by the freshman Beard on the perimeter. As Andrew Harrison was taking it inside, he picks up his first.
The ability to knock down some shots here. A little ball fake, head fake, a little nylon. Take your pick. Harrison able to nail it. That time, Andrew.
CBS Sports College basketball coverage is sponsored by Napa Auto Parts. Conquer the job with Napa know-how. The first ever Lexus NX Turbo. Go beyond utility. And by AT&T, mobilizing your world. Kentucky has started this one 5 of 9 from the field, a couple of threes. That leads us to the AT&T Fast Analysis.
Well, Kevin, once you get to 30, your memory may fail you, but I think this play was run by Cal with the Nets with Kendall Gill. It's just horns kind of a set, 1-4, and then a little brush. You can step and go and get it in the back of the circle or go to the rim, and this time Lyles able to finish. Send it in. Old-time music by Cal.
So a 74-56 win over Mississippi State earlier this week, and Lyles had the 18 points and the 6 rebounds, and Arkansas beat Texas A&M 81-75, leading early in that one. They were pushed late, but they get the win. So Arkansas comes in 23-5, number 18 in the country.
There's that little curl play, and they were ready. Portis deflects, and they like to get 40 a game. And when they do, they usually win.
They go outside. This is a 3. Bell with the launch, picked up by Portis. Offensive rebound.
Big time. Johnson stuck him, but not enough.
5 rebounds so far for Portis, who's making his presence felt. Bell on top, just checked in. Here's Qualls outside. He had a game winner against Kentucky last year, and he was picked up by Dakari Johnson.
Nobody back.
And ahead to Lyles.
Bad shots. You pay. You got to go to the pharmacy against this team. Get to that rim, find somebody, make yourself available.
Arkansas cannot get in the track meet with Kentucky.
They have to be wise on this end and don't feed their speed, because they can play great half court as well.
Ja'Cory Williams also checking in for the Razorbacks. They put in 2 new ones. Just under 13 to play in the first half. Williams across the lane and finds 2.
A nice little play. Left-hand delivery by the lefty. A dribble drive, something out of Cal's playbook, too.
Melvin Booker has checked in for the Cats. Here's Ulis now coming in at the point. He's 5'9", and he's a freshman, and he's a blur.
And he can really rag people and get by. Look at his pull-up.
And the open shot.
Numbers.
Balls to Williams, and Williams feeds inside, and Madden was there, but so was Lyles.
Yeah, nice job. The step out by Williams. Got to make that.
Johnson with the rebound. Then Tyler Ulis. They go the other way. They go inside. Here is Marcus Lee's checked in.
Boy, they may lead the country, and oh my God, that's out of bounds, and somebody saves it. Look at this stroke, folks. Booker. Take another look, folks.
Don't look at that, huh?
He is more amazed than anybody. But just easy, simple, bad shots lead to pain. Just inflicted with the terrific punch at the end. But you get in here and take these kind of shots with the matchup, you can get away to it. With the bigs, you are going to struggle.
We have, as John Calipari is visiting and pleading his case, we have the 2 highest scoring teams in the Southeastern Conference on display. Number 1 in that category, Arkansas.
Arkansas does not back off, though. These are terrific performers on both ends of the floor. And just the difficulty in getting good shots at the rim is part of the problem. They got to make better decisions when they get in here.
Manny Watkins is in a little bit high, and then pass across the way for Jabril Durham. It is the second turnover. Kentucky and Arkansas on CBS. Wonderful pace here with Bill Rafter and Kevin Harlan. Last team to win in Rupp Arena was Arkansas last year.
Unbelievable. Great players here, though. Cal can protect home court, and he does a great job. I think what's lost with him, he's such a great marketer. People don't realize how hard he works and diligent he is and how well prepared his teams are.
And how about his record here? I mean, just as you were talking about at Rupp Arena, it's impenetrable almost.
It is scary when you think of it, but they just protect. Great defense. This club in particular, how about 48-1 as a ranked team? But this club in particular, I asked Joe B. Hall before the game. Joe, what do you think? He said it's the best group he's ever seen in terms of numbers here. That deep, and that's what makes it great. The bench is your best friend. And what Cal's done, if you don't guard, you're coming out.
Kentucky an 11-2 run. Arkansas shooting 29%. With a little foul on the side. The clock at 11:36, and that's going to go on Anthelon Bell, the junior from Memphis, who picks it up, number 1.
And a little cut. They were running a little baseline stuff for Booker. You got to be careful with the lob. There's a down screen here for Booker.
You've got two starters in there right now, Aaron Harrison and Cauley Stein. The other three off the bench. Could be starters almost any place. Here comes Booker, going to maneuver for a 15-footer after missing a long one. Now he's 0 of 2. He's the bench shooter. Oh, and it's picked off. Aaron Harrison, Cauley Stein, and knocked away by Kingsley.
Kingsley, really, that's a message by him. I like that. Stepping up big time. Don't bring the house down or let the opponent do it. But it's just not a good outlet. You've got to see. You're the guy that makes the decision on that outlet. Kingsley sets this up, but magnificent effort to challenge. How about this kid? Was he a wide receiver? And then 14 TDs in high school. As a receiver.
He was wonderful, and he is from Olathe Northwest High School out of Olathe, Kansas, a suburb of Kansas City, a top high school center in the country, in the top 10. And as John Calipari was saying this week, he wants him to risk more, want more plays. Don't be afraid to make that extra pass or take it yourself inside.
Then when you make a mistake, you're out.
Yeah. Well, that's what he says on one side, and then the other side says, be careful.
Now, he's great at tweaking these kids, getting the most out of them.
Corey Williams on top to Durham, and now it's off to Manny Watkins.
And they are in a comfort zone now, Arkansas. They're not ringing the bell, but they're in touch, being forced late in the shot clock now.
Durham, he's in a torture chamber, picked up by Bell inside to Corey Williams.
Gotta make it.
Yep.
Good
Ulis.
shots you can get back, though. A good balance.
10.5 to play in the half. From Rupp Arena, Lexington, Kentucky.
Corey Williams with a tough match. If they switch, get number 15 inside.
A lot of red jerseys around. That player, that was Dakari Johnson, 4th turnover for Kentucky. And again, that's what Arkansas does. A lot of deflections. There's a shove. There's a foul. That's going to go on Kentucky down low.
And Durham with the attack. They are confident getting into that lane. Big thing as you get in that lane is somebody has to turn and create an area where you can slip that pass because they just accumulate at the point of attack.
Dakari Johnson's going to sit, and Trey Lyles, our starter in this game for Kentucky, is back in. And here comes Arkansas, winning 10 of their last 11. The lone loss, a one-pointer in Gainesville to Florida.
A little stack set, pinned down.
And they go to Bell outside, who can't knock it in. Bell had 14 off the bench. The Razorbacks against the Aggies earlier this week. And they drive inside as Kentucky has not hit a field goal in the last 3.5 minutes. As they force the issue right there, foul goes on Durham, picks up his first. And Aaron Harrison will be at the free throw line for the Kentucky Wildcats. They got a visit from their dad not too long ago from down in Texas. And was trying to make sure that both were in the right frame of mind, and they've got a compass headed in the right direction. Academy Award winner Patricia Arquette stars in the next generation of CSI. CSI Cyber premieres Wednesday at 10, 9 Central. Only CBS.
And, you know, as good as Arkansas is known and renowned for their defense, you can't let a guy dribble the ball and get to the foul line or less. Not good defense, that particular, to get this guy to the free throw line.
Harris comes back in the contest for the Razorbacks. 9.5 to go in the first half. Arkansas 25% from the field, over and back. And a turnover for the Razorbacks. That's number 4. Going against a Kentucky team with a 28-game winning streak, Bill. 28 consecutive wins, longest in a single season in UK basketball history.
It's incredible.
Isn't it something? My goodness.
Everybody talking about the Indiana team, of course, did it. And they had a lot of close games. You mentioned some of the overtimes this year for Kentucky. You're going to have close games.
Last year, of course, 30 consecutive wins. 18 consecutive wins by the Florida team. 30 overall.
They've done a great job, Arkansas, on that duck in. Playing the bigs, getting in a good position.
Here's Andrew Harrison working on Qualls. Kicks it out to Ulis with a triple.
They can adjust, play different people at the point. And right now playing small.
Kentucky's got their biggest lead in the early portion of the game.
I mentioned the different pieces that they can put together. Drive, draw, get those maroon shirts and kick. Get those puppies organized. They just don't need it to score.
They just put a foul on Willie Cauley-Stein. He picks up his first for the Cats. 9 to play. Makes the steal yet.
This is the end that's overlooked.
What about that defense?
So talented on offense. You forget their diligence on the D.
Historically good defensively.
And again, pretty good denial by Portis. Had one earlier.
Willie Cauley-Stein. Aaron Harrison.
Wow.
And Cauley-Stein gets it and goes up on the doorstep, and now he's triple teamed and fouled.
Boy, a nice effort by the big guy. Goodness. Talk about aggression and being involved. Staying in. A little egg on the brow on this one. Clean it off with the tissue and get right back into the mix. So the fans really appreciate it. And Phil checking, which one do I like the most? This is like going to the bakery when you got a sweet tooth.
They've got 9 All-Americans in high school, 9 McDonald's kids on the Kentucky team. You've got 1 on Arkansas, but that's been the pattern for John Calipari. He brings in this great class, one good team after another. But, you know, it's tough to bring them together, to get that chemistry and make all these great individual players a team.
Of course, they had a little summer work. They got an opportunity to get to know one another. But these are kids who want to be players. Nobody back. Good look.
Calls into Portis. What a great play by Arkansas.
Calls in the open floor. Can be the high flyer. A nice little give. And this is the first zone trap.
Aaron Harrison. He misses up tight. And here comes Qualls the other way.
They play a lot of guys and they're fresh.
Madden trying to slither, and he was held by 2. And Ulis is going to pick up a foul for Kentucky. That'll be on Ulis the first.
Madden makes plays, good aggressive attack, but this is just unselfish basketball. Fill the lane, and it goes run one guy off with that pass. Just solid basketball. You got to make, for both these teams, the hoops around the rim because they're going to come right back at you.
So Ulis gets his first. Harris on the wing, and he's picked up by Lyons.
Look at these big guys moving the puppies.
Great steal. Aaron Harrison held on the play, and then he holds himself. Holding on to him was Madden, and then vice versa. Madden picks up his first from Lexington. The Cats on top. You can see the Wildcats plus 9 points beyond the arc. Early numbers here at Rupp Arena. Now time for the award-winning Raft on Round Ball.
Well, my haberdasher's out of business, obviously, when you take a look at that. They don't want a powerful physique, but it's the ability to fill lanes, anticipate, and, of course, sneak out. If you don't convert at the rim, Lyles that time, and the frenetic pace, just keep getting after you. Unselfish delivery. The stamina required to play at this bit could be telling late. Amazing. Going 10 deep, Arkansas, and counter that with the ability around the rim by the bigs of Kentucky. Just great basketball early.
But how about Kentucky's transition defense? One of the top teams in that category in college basketball. You get in the track meet, it's going to go Kentucky's way.
Well, you want to force the opponent. You want to run, but you want to force the opponent to run half court because you can stymie them with the power around the rim. You don't gamble outside, but you got to be solid. Don't let guys in the lane to create your bigs to step up.
This is sophomore Aaron Harrison at the line, and tomorrow on CBS, the only case they're on is each other's. Check out the new drama from the creators of Breaking Bad and House, Battle Creek. It premieres tomorrow at 10, 9 Central, only on CBS. Kentucky is not trailed. The big lead has been 11.
The teams that have played Kentucky well during the course of the season, they've sort of taken them out of rhythm with changing defenses. We have not seen the 2-3 zone or 1-3-1 by Arkansas. It just throws them off, and you get to the free throw line as well as Ole Miss did.
Outside Madden. Booker is checked back in for the Kentucky Wildcats. Dakari Johnson is in there. A free Booker. Their best jump shooter from outside, who averages a team-high 13 in conference play. Andrew Harrison from 3. Picked up by Ulis with another offensive rebound.
Right between the legs. They are dodging a little bit. Some open looks now. Arkansas is going to get tougher on the deep shooters.
Lyles on the floor with Ulis. We got one Harrison Andrew. Devin Booker, the son of Melvin Booker, played at University of Missouri, was a terrific college player, and Dakari Johnson.
How about the philosophy John espouses where if you give up 6 points, you're not guarding, you're coming out in that until that next TV break. So you really got to get down and get after your people to contain. Here's the baseline rubs for Booker. Nice fade.
Oof. That was physical, and Qualls was the one delivering as Kentucky has only gotten one of their last 9. There's a look at Booker, who was the Mississippi High School Player of the Year. Qualls picks up his first.
Qualls was really caught because of the great cut, great preparation, and good shooters know how to move.
And Booker will put it in.
Just over the top and unarmed or disarmed on that particular play, but just great understanding of time and space.
If there is an offensive weakness, Bill, for the Wildcats, it might be that jump shooter.
Well, he is their premier shooter, no question about it. The Harrisons have to chime in. They're very good on clutch shots, as we know.
They are, yes. One of them in particular, we saw that last year in the SEC tournament and the NCAAs. Kentucky in a 9-2 run.
Nice use of the screen by Qualls. Oh, that's pretty. He countered on Booker.
Number 9 in scoring is Qualls in the Southeastern Conference. Zell will pick up number 2.
Bell just couldn't seal the deal on that sideline. He wants to turn it in, get some help from his partner. And taking a look at Qualls, Mr. Walk on Air. And he can elevate.
But he's been struggling with his shot, Bill. Last 10 games, only 32% from the field. And that twisted an ankle, as Willie Cauley-Stein checks back in for Dakari Johnson. He is an athletic wing, and something the Razorbacks rely on. Ulis will be at the free throw line for Kentucky.
When they talk about this kid on defense, when he's in the game, they think they're even tougher because he rags that point guard. Just gets after people, a toughness about him, but he can really find people.
High expectations, of course, here at Kentucky. Nothing new, something they live with. And I actually think thrive in, especially a group like this.
Oh, they absolutely do. They came here to challenge every year. Nice effort by Qualls. Ulis just couldn't get there.
Going to pick up a foul.
John having a little dialogue there on the sideline. I enjoyed Mike Anderson today. The confidence he had in his team. You think, these are my guys now. I've got it going. They're playing solid basketball, hog basketball, 40 minutes of heck.
Yeah.
Just total immersing in the game.
How about the 9 previous times that Mike Anderson has faced the John Calipari team, whether it was at UAB, at Memphis, or here now at the Arkansas Razorbacks? He has won 6 of the 9 individual matchups with these coaches.
Now we said rhythm. I just think their ability to freelance helps them as well. If you take away their stuff, they have the confidence to beat you with the bounce, their screens, their cuts. Here's the full again on the ball. And this is straight up man.
Statistically, Arkansas with the full court press only 27% of the time. When they use it, it clenches.
They're 16 a game they force generally. You got to play Lyles out there. Nice post up. What a dilemma. Look at, talk about ringing it up.
Portis picks up the foul, number 1.
Just amazing here. You got first he started at the foul line. Now he ducks in. He's just giving up so much size, and that could have gone either way. You don't want it on Portis if you're Arkansas.
Trey Lyles at the line. He was the Mr. Basketball in Indiana, state champs at Arsenal Tech in Indianapolis. He had missed 3 games earlier with strep throat, and they were concerned about him losing weight. So John Calipari had round-the-clock guys and gals to feed him food. So he almost gained weight while he was sick as opposed to losing it, which has made his recovery very good.
That surprises me that they can afford that here at Kentucky.
Well, they find a way.
Around the clock.
Yeah.
We should be so lucky.
If we had that
luxury.
Madden the other way, and Booker will pick him up. Cauley-Stein is watching Portis. That's a good matchup.
And they do a great job keeping guys in front of them. Tough delivery again. Challenge 3.
Well, couldn't get it. Andrew Harrison now on the run. Into the rack.
Look at this effort.
He is cleaning up and cashing in. It's the biggest Kentucky lead. Under 6 to go in the first half. Qualls, Bell, 3. And Paulie Stein. Wow. One Harrison to the other. Aaron Harrison.
Danger zone right here.
Qualls defending.
See if they help here. At least Ragday do. Nice spin out.
Booker. What a cut.
Hey, Kevin, we're going to see this couple. What I love most, away from traffic, the high side, the double arrives. Look at the read, the little peekaboo as he turns over his shoulder, and Booker, just not counting the house, gets involved, and he's on the board now, and you don't want a shooter to start feeling good about himself.
Well, as we open up the show, we told you a Kentucky win today. They'll be the winner in the conference, the sole possession outright winner for their 46th SEC regular season championship. And like we talked about, the defense historically good. You got to go back to Stanford in the 99-2000 season. They were allowing only 35% from the field. Right now, Kentucky is allowing only 34%, which is the best. And if they continue that, they set an all-time record.
I got to get a good trip here. Good shot. A little nickel dimer. Goodness. 5 at dime store.
Look at these numbers right here. They say it all, don't they?
It's utterly incredible. You don't get anything around the hoop. Their ability in half court is excellent. They balance the floor. Their concepts are great. Their denials by the bigs. They can, you say, well, move the bigs away. And they handle any penetration. They move their legs. And at the guard spot, it's magnificent. They don't let you turn the corner to create havoc.
Lyles picks up his first foul. Michael Qualls at the free throw line. Well, the analytics paint a pretty interesting picture. We just saw some of them right there, how lopsided this game could be if Kentucky plays the kind of defense as Ja'Carri Johnson checks back in and takes the place of Trey Lyles. #1 overall defense in college basketball. #2 transition defense.
They do a solid job balancing. The big thing is making free throws. See if they can create some problems on this end. It's got to control it.
Andrew Harrison, a lot of red around him. He has been playing well.
And here's that little 2-3 zone now. High-low is what they worked on yesterday at practice. Get between the cracks as well.
5 to play in the first. Booker.
And you got to stay at home on Booker. Even if you throw it to the short corner, don't leave him.
Clock down to 7. Here comes Paulie Stein, splitting the D and taking it to the rack and picked up inside by Ja'Cory Williams.
Nice job by Portis.
Here to now it's outside. Madden with the 3. Fanning there. They play a little twister on the floor.
Go this way, Captain. K-State's
you're right.
Arkansas.
Arkansas 0 of 8, Bill, this afternoon on 3s, and you and I were thinking that they've got to hit some, huh?
You take good open shots against Kentucky. I haven't seen good open shots. Then you use your offense a little bit so that at least you get a good release. You can balance the floor. And Mike, I'm sure at halftime is going to. They want to push the tempo, but it's what you do at the end.
Williams out to Beard.
Portis stepping out a little bit. See if he can get something going off the dribble. He likes that little jump hook once he bounces to the rim.
And Andrew Harrison getting in front of Beard and drawing the foul. A little too physical on the play. That's the one thing that, Bruce Pearl said this with Auburn the other day when they got just whacked right here inside. Barbarina says the one thing is they're so physical that if they got in the tournament, how it would be called would be kind of interesting to see how Kentucky would adapt to that, because these are officials in the Southeastern Conference that see them all the time.
When you're this good, the officials adjust to you also.
Yeah, interesting, yeah.
They are just so aggressive. I just love their defensive principles.
He gets the first one right there.
And Beard's one of those guys, the smile of Mike Anderson. He reminds him of himself a little bit. He's the juice of this team. The flex from the rear is setting them back. The 2-3 now.
Beard, by the way, the current Southeastern Conference Freshman of the Week. Averaged 12 points a game last week.
Nice little screen for the high-low.
Andrew Harrison, Ulis back in, launches the 3.
Nice help on the boards.
Hall's a good rebound. Racing the other way off to Portis.
Nice job. Oh, goodness.
Aaron Harrison.
Double dribble.
Dribbling violation of Aaron Harrison.
He's got to be careful. You can't change the call. You don't want to tee. He may not agree with it, but just excellent. Kevin, if you want to play at Kentucky speed, you've got to control the flow, balance the floor. Ulis just solid here. Everybody in transition trying to identify man. They're a potential charge to get it. Ball fake, he goes. They double the post, and look, all of a sudden, Harrison steps in. They go the other way.
These are the ranked teams they've played this season. Only North Carolina getting over 40%. Look what Kansas, Louisville, and Texas, at that time ranked 5, 4, and 6 respectively, shot. Today, Arkansas, number 18 in college basketball, shooting 27%. They've turned it over 7 times. And Kentucky, Bill, plus 9 points from three-point territory, plus 9 points off turnovers. Portis looked like it was cocked and loaded and washed the ball, but fouled.
I thought that was going to bring the house down. Only 5 turnovers for Kentucky. They've done a nice job. Most of that's been in the half-court offense as well. But a nice screen getting Portis to come from the top. Loses his guy, gets an opportunity for 2.
As we mentioned before, the only McDonald's kid on this Arkansas team, Bobby Portis from Little Rock, the second leading scorer in the Southeastern Conference, as he sets up with 4 and a 2 of 3 display so far, is his Arkansas team, Bill, looking for their first NCAA tournament appearance since 2008. 7 years ago was the last time they played after the conference tournament.
Well, what you tell me, Kentucky has 9 McDonald's All-Americans.
9.
Well, I don't think the Arkansas kids believe in chains. They like mom and pop
right, exactly.
restaurant, you know.
Portis again.
A lot of homegrown kids. And
this Portis is a terrific player.
Having a great year, too. He's in the middle of the 2-3 zone. And the one thing I would do if Willie Cauley-Stein comes to the foul line, I would back off on the high-low. Force him to take that look. Lyles, I'd stay up on. Ooh, not a good look here.
Harrison's out there. Yeah, it sure was. Harrison's out there.
Yeah, you know what's great about a Mike Anderson team? The kids coach themselves in a way. They anticipated that trap, locked it, almost came up with an opportunity to go the other way.
Reactionary, almost more than anything else.
You tell them what to do.
Andrew and Aaron Harrison out there. Riles on the floor. Booker and Wally, Willie Cauley-Stein on the floor for the Kentucky Wildcats. That's their 5. Madden, and on top they've got defense from Watkins. This is Aaron Harrison. With a rebound inside by Portis.
Well, he is a double-double machine.
He sure is.
They say he plays every night, too.
He leads the Southeastern Conference in double-doubles this season with 8. Portis, there he is over Aaron Harrison.
Nice play, nice pump fake, and really a tough shot. The challenge was on his shooting hand. And right now, just creeping back. This team plays with a lot of confidence because of Mike. Freewheeling.
Arkansas breaks a field goal drought of 3 minutes and 50 seconds, and they've got a single-digit deficit.
And the zone has slowed the flow down just enough to seize control.
That's the one thing a lot of people talking about. How do you beat Kentucky? And a lot of coaches have talked about it.
I think you've got to put wrinkles in. You can't play the same way. They're too talented. Open look. There it is. Booker. Ooh, he was right on it.
Offensive rebound, Lyles. And they reload. Arkansas is on a 7-0 run.
The guards have to help on the long rebound. Pretty good D.
I thought so, too. By Ja'Cory Williams.
Yeah. Solid. Now you mentioned Portis and the kind of year he's having. Look where the challenge is. That is really tough to stay and concentrate. That little nylon and just so effective. How about this all year? More than razor sharp.
We saw that one line at the bottom. Look at that, averaging 17 and 8 in the Southeastern Conference. He's one of only 3 in the country that are averaging that. Okafor from Duke, Christmas from Syracuse.
And you know what's interesting about Kentucky? No one talks about players of the week or player whatever. It's team with Kentucky because they share. They only play 20 to 25 minutes.
John talks about their selfishness all the time. Says this team is always giving others passes, setting the screens. Portis will twirl and into Johnson.
See, he is a tough out when he moves away from the, you saw the finish, but Portis away from the rim with these big guys is a tougher challenge. Nice little step, spin, and a little ward-off. May have gotten away with it, but it's tough for the bigs to contain and then get control on that spin.
Portis, a 76% free throw shooter. Ja'Cory Johnson picks up a foul. It is the second on him with 2:09 to play in the first half. Coming up on the AT&T at the half, Greg, Clark, and Seth. Scores, highlights from a busy day in the top 25, including the de facto Missouri Valley Conference Championship between number 10 Northern Iowa and 11th ranked Wichita State, all coming up on the AT&T at the half from our CBS studios in New York. Number 2 from Portis.
See, I thought they might say they are. Different look on the free. Gotta make free throws. This is the 2-2-1. Now, this really makes guys think. Nothing is regular or with consistency. So this puts a lot of pressure on your guards to make decisions.
Lyles, baseline over Portis. Rebound, Cauley Stein. He's got those like extendo arms to grab that ball and bring it back in.
He went 6 feet with that arm.
Oh my gosh. That breaks the drought of shooting from the floor of 3:45 for Kentucky. Portis again fearlessly goes in with a couple of bigs around him. And then there is Ja'Cory Williams on the doorstep.
You've got to compete. That's the big thing against Kentucky. And anybody who's played them well, the kids have played with confidence, stuck their nose in, and fought.
The thing about this Razorback team on the road, they've been successful. 3 true road wins against top 50 RPI teams. One of 8 teams in the country that have done that.
Forget about it.
And Lyles comes down hard. He's got 12 and has controlled it on that part of the court for Kentucky. The size of a center, the playmaking of a guard, wonderful play. Madden falls, will put up a 3. Rebound by Booker. Andrew Harrison.
You want to press this club, they'll make you pay. That was a great alley-oop, obviously, and the ability to get in the lane by Harrison, just extraordinary. Size and strength.
Madden trying to chisel. It was a good feed inside to Williams, and there's the defense again. Cauley Stein.
Yeah, go for 1. Look at this. The intelligence of this team as well. Not only good, but the IQ. 1-4. Stay at home on Booker.
Final seconds of the first half.
They don't run out. Strictly 1-4.
Foul goes on Williams, who picks up his first. Ja'Cory picking up his first right there, the junior from Birmingham, Alabama.
Andrew Harrison at the line.
Everybody puts pressure on you, though, defensively. And take their own guy. Make that extra look.
Then we step back here and look as Lee is going to check back in for the Cats. And Willie Cauley-Stein will take a breather, go to halftime, and get an extended halftime. Kentucky doing what they've had to do so far, even against some very interesting defenses thrown at them by Arkansas.
Just outstanding. Willie Cauley-Stein going out, gets a nice round of applause, well-deserved. They compete. They're talented and compete, give you effort every single trip. Plus, you have the numbers.
Madden, good if it goes. And that takes us to the half. Kentucky began the game on an 11-2 run. They end the first half on a 10-3 run. An undefeated season is on the line. Perhaps number 1 Kentucky's biggest challenge yet. The top 2 teams in the SEC, Arkansas, Kentucky. We go to New York after this on CBS. CBS Sports College basketball coverage is sponsored by Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports. By Old Spice Body Spray. Wait, is this a sentence I was paid to say into a microphone? And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Well, the transformation celebrating last night the 150th anniversary of the University of Kentucky on this floor, and you can see what it looks like right now. And we take a look at the Coca-Cola first half statistics. +9 from 3, Kentucky. +7 points, second chance point. +7, Bill, points off turnovers.
And those free throws jump at you as well. And inability to make shots is something I think is very important for Arkansas if they're going to get back in this. Get a good one, make it.
I always ask what's caught your eye. How about one of your eye openers right now? Even though it's still early in the day.
You would bring it up. Normally I have my opener a little earlier in the day, to be honest with you. But defensively, the reaction, Willie Cauley-Stein, magnificent. His ability around the rim, and they can dominate at that glass. Lyles had a good start. Monster impact by the big fellas. And this, the 2-2-1, great recognition defined by Booker. Lyles to go as he knocks it down.
So the Razorbacks come out there 23-5 with their record. You can see how they began the game and how they ended the first half. Pretty impressive.
My man Barry Rorset front and center there. Assistant coach at Pitt, later head coach at Manhattan. Got to know this John Robick's on the staff. He was up at UMass with him. And Mike Anderson, what do they do? I think the big thing, don't turn it over, obviously, but the open shot, you've got to convert or say goodnight. Or good afternoon.
We're talking about one of the hottest teams in the country in Arkansas. They've won 10 of 11. They go inside. Here comes Kentucky with a good move. Towns.
He's such a powerful kid. You know, he's got Shaq-like strength, doesn't he?
Something else. He was the National Player of the Year. His dad played college basketball
at Monmouth in New Jersey.
Qualls with a 3 in the first this afternoon for Arkansas.
1 for 10. A harbinger maybe of some positive things.
Come out and play loose, huh? Here, the freshman against Ulis, the freshman. Booker will start the second half for Kentucky. Willie Cauley-Stein on top. Karl Anthony Towns. Lyles on the side, on the baseline with the fake and a mid-ranger.
Pulled the string.
Qualls has it, and they will run. Here, he was the top-rated high school player in Arkansas last year. And a good hit right there by Landis Harris.
And what a nice look by Beard. A lot of guys would have jacked it up. The presence of mind to deliver. Harris rings the bell. Are they back?
This has been a season where Arkansas has reestablished themselves on the national scene. Second place in the SEC in sole possession by 2 games, actually. 12 wins, Bill, in the SEC for the first time in 15 years.
He's so happy with what he's been able to accomplish because they honored his pal Nolan Richardson this week and playing and coaching just like he did. There's a toughness about Mike, and yet there's a conviviality that his press finally gets the denial.
Big play, Qualls. And he goes right inside into Lyles. And look at the white jerseys around him. And Willie Cauley-Stein comes out of the fray.
Oh, tough to challenge him that close to the rim. They got their trap going now.
Cauley-Stein the other way.
Nice look.
Devin Booker, and up high he goes with a 2-handed flush in town.
Booker really has a nice feel for the game. The dribble, peeking, not looking at it, it delivers.
18th ranked Arkansas. Kentucky has not played a ranked team since mid-December.
Nice.
Good.
He can stretch it.
Huh?
Towns doesn't want to come out that far on him. That's where I think he should be playing, not posting up. And full court pressure can be relentless. They gnaw away at you. You're tough on the psyche eventually.
Here it is in. Balls is in. Madden is in. Harris, Portis, that's the Razorback 5. Ulis has it for Kentucky.
John Calipari not real happy at that last time out. Made some changes.
Lyles.
Pretty.
Beautiful move. You're right.
Well, he uses the backside to maneuver.
Beard the other way to the trailing Portis and knocked away inside by Cauley-Stein.
Boy, going strong, so essential, even when you attack. And they are, look at this little derriere maneuver. Nice little chicken bone. Speaking of, you didn't pass that around last night. Boy, it is exciting the way these guys play above the rim.
So Lyles is coming off an 18-point performance. And they're taking a look right now at his contact. Lyles is 6 of 8 with 14 this afternoon. We began the broadcast saying that John Calipari considered him the X factor with his team. Here's Takari Johnson.
The only way you can stop him, right? They have a contact problem.
Yeah, that's right. But he can't see. Aaron Harrison.
Got away with when Willie Cauley-Stein was over the shoulder, I thought. You really got to stick guys with that great arm length, though. He can just peel it off your forehead.
You know, Bill, I don't know what team is going to match the size of Kentucky. I mean, maybe the San Antonio Spurs or the Golden State Warriors. I don't know. I'm not sure who.
Gonzaga, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
A little bit, you know.
Not a bad comparison.
Nice trap on the out of bounds. And they get the timeout.
Timeout, Kentucky.
All right, timeout taken by Calipari. The lead is 15 on CBS. No surprise, John Calipari has the 5th youngest team in college basketball, uses basically a 2-platoon system, getting all these good individual players out of high school to play as one.
They are unselfish. It's amazing. We talked about earlier his ability to get them. He was upset. They worked on it yesterday on that corner trap to look opposite deep. Just amazing what he's been able to do with first-round draft picks, 2 first-rounders, 19 draft picks. Just load them up every year.
Andrew Harrison.
Always makes the coach good when you make that knockdown after the timeout.
Yeah, exactly. And as Aaron's on the side, here's Portis on top. Portis has 11 points this afternoon. Only player for Arkansas in double figures. Here he goes firing again.
I like that pick and pop, though. Got a good look. He's numbers right now. Portis foul.
Ulis will penetrate. And put it up. Like the miss. Fouled on the play.
The little guy with the motor. Just the understanding of what shot to take. Get yourself organized. Just really unselfish basketball. When the Harrison shoot it really well, and you got Booker and this guy, but there's so many different ways they can play.
Beer, the freshman for Arkansas, picks up his 3rd personal foul. Ulis is at the line for the Kentucky Wildcats. One thing Calipari was saying is we got to tune out the noise, the outside comments, because as we talked about a bit in the first half, Bill, a lot of guys are guessing how you would beat Kentucky if they were the talking heads, what you should do, what you shouldn't do.
There's a lot of ways, but you've got to have the talent to match. You've got to have the manpower, the size. You guys got to compete on an unbelievable level on each trip.
Well, 7-0 run now by UK. Here.
So they really contain the bounce, so it takes pressure off the bigs.
Portis aggressively goes in. Harris gets the ball. Shot clock continues to tick. Qualls from 3. That was a long-range bomb.
What a play by Harris, though. Sticking with it.
Yeah, great save.
Yeah,
great save. Arkansas has not blinked.
See if they're staying at home now. See if on the dribble they might go after him.
Andrew Harrison.
Good defense.
Yeah, no kidding. Here we go with Madden the other way. Dishing well. Qualls is there. Madden collects it. A lot of white jerseys around him. Boy, they rotate. They call a jump ball.
Boy, they really wall up big time. And an assist from out of bounds. How about that? And Qualls gets those puppies organized. Woo!
CBS Sports coverage of NCAA men's basketball will continue after this message and a word from your local CBS station. Well, the last perfect season in college basketball, 1976, the Indiana Hoosiers. And can Kentucky continue their 28-0 coming in? Best start in school history with that 28-0 mark. What do you think, Bill?
Quinn Buckner, Scott May, Benson, some pretty good players, but how about this team, though? This is deeper than any I can remember. Ohio State, 60, Lucas and Havlicek, Siegfried. And Bob Knight was on the Pines. Just don't forget that. You know, he was not a major contributor.
Kentucky reached, Bill, the Final Four in 3 of the past 4 seasons. Lost to UConn, of course, the title game last year.
And I think that to answer you, they're so good defensively. The offense takes care of itself. That's what makes them such a tough out. Amazing depth, too.
It is, and he gets a 3 right there. So they're in the threes. Arkansas is in the second half.
And the one thing about Arkansas, they are not going to pack the tack. We are in Lexington, by the way.
I did.
Crazy.
Arkansas 3 of 3 from 3.
And here they step it up just a little with the 2-3.
A little more than 5 minutes gone in the second half. Kentucky is led from the opening tip.
A nice effort, Dublin. This 2-3 enables them to help out on the box, so they're going to get opposite jumpers. Nice look.
Holy Stein.
How about the patience? The delivery. Tyler.
Willie Cauley-Stein. 3 points. Make it 5 with that right there.
Well, he has some talent around that rim, though. It's the pass that sets the flavor.
Right by Madden. Going forward, working inside. Number 2 in assists in the conference and playing well.
We're talking about what a target this kid is. And great feel, good footwork, size 21. Talk about research. And that would bankrupt most programs buying those shoes. But he is more than just an offensive weapon scoring. He delivers to others.
Aaron Harrison picks up his second foul. Here is Rashad Madden at the line. He led him in scoring a year ago. Had this Arkansas team with 12 a game.
Look at that now. Boy, you could use those on a lake. Put the family in. Bob Lanier was size 22, wasn't he?
Yeah.
They're in the hall.
I think you're right, 22.
I
You're
think
right,
they're in the Hall of Fame. They take up a wing.
Mentioned before, the Kentucky has led since the get-go. They've had 11 games this season without a deficit. This will be number 12. Arkansas sticking in there. You just never know. Arkansas has beaten this Kentucky team 4 of the last 5 times in 3 consecutive games.
They still at 2-3. It's got a little wrinkle of 1-1-3. They do have a 1-3-1 they show as well. Forcing Downs to make plays here. Look at him just shoulder his way in. Soft, delicate delivery by the big fella.
Good hands, terrific feet,
and a good head.
Beard. First missed 3 by Arkansas in the second half. Aggressively, Beard digs it out, and they continue. Ball.
This jump stop pretty. Well, Mike's on the floor. He is upset on that last play.
Aaron Harrison. The transition was there. Kentucky again strikes. 19-point lead.
You come up empty. Nice D. Blind to the ball, but use those arms. Make yourself bigger. Was that a terrific play by Andrew?
Andrew Harrison into Beard with a foul for Arkansas.
Now, there's so many options with this team, so many outs. The target is huge. The field for the game. How about this soft, delicate delivery? That is pretty basketball. I just love the way the challenge by both hands. When they get to the lane, they push you back. You've got to make a stand.
Portis and Beard will check out. They bring in some new, fresh bodies now. Manny Watkins has come in. They're also bringing Moses Kingsley, who's in the cut. Ja'Cory Williams is in the game for Arkansas.
Melvin's son, nice player, has a nice floater game, really gets after people defensively.
Booker is in. Lyles.
They know the scouting report. Get on number 1 on the catch.
Kentucky is having a 70% shooting second half.
And they follow all the way through some matchup principles right here.
Aaron Harrison. And picked up nicely with the rebound. Madden. Racing, floating. But just too much there. And Booker will come the other way.
Technical on Mike Anderson. He was looking for it earlier. Livid at the penetration and no foul the last couple of trips. But you make a mistake and don't finish. The Cats convert. Just magnificent. Look at this gathering at the rim and really down underneath. No question about the body. But nice and easy. Booker good deep and not too bad at the 10.
The number 1 overall defense in college basketball, that of the Kentucky Wildcats. Historically good, as we mentioned before. And they score 2. The right and back of Arkansas is Kentucky in scoring. This is Andrew Harrison at the line.
He has been livid. I mentioned earlier when Mike was upset, he has a tendency to go out on the floor. You can see him out there.
Wow.
A defensive maneuver trying to stop the fast break. And no question Towns hit him underneath. voicing his opinion. I love. He gets involved.
There is no doubt, we watched the Kentucky practice yesterday, no doubt they were ready and they knew the challenge coming in to this afternoon's game against the ranked Razorbacks.
And Cal said people are telling him these kids want to be undefeated. I think it's very important.
Shot clock at 9. Double
goodness.
team Kingsley.
See what they make you do? They make you take shots you haven't taken since grade school. It's just too many big people to negate opportunities.
Very physical style that Kentucky plays. Wiles picks up his second personal foul. With the free throw now from Moses Kingsley from Nigeria. Who is James Corden and why is he the new face of late night? Find out for yourself. March 23rd when the Late Late Show premieres. Only CBS.
The clock is stopped. You got to make these. Obviously, the ability to change the look. And they go straight up on the ball, face guarding. This is typical. Here's the banged into one another.
Andrew Harrison.
Numbers here.
They got him now. Let's see what they do with it. Wiles is back. Booker is back. And right around both of them, floating Rashad Madden for the Razorbacks.
Pretty attack of the rim.
Madden's got 6. 11 for Qualls. 11 for Portis.
Tough match for Williams right there. You can see just decimating the defense with the bounce.
An undefeated season is on the line. And today, perhaps #1 Kentucky's biggest challenge in a couple of months. The top 2 teams in the SEC, Arkansas, Kentucky on CBS. Bob Fishman in the foreground, our producer Mark Wolf in the background. There you take a look at our score, 20-point Kentucky lead. A lot of balance. A lot of people get their hands in the pot for this Kentucky team.
It's all about we. How can we win? How can we accomplish success? And they give it up. It's a different name. You just can't isolate and concentrate on 1 or 2 guys. Everybody's able to step up and put it in the basket.
I think Bruce Pearl said it best last week. He goes, I can't imagine what the practices must be like with this team. Those might be the best and the hardest games that Kentucky has.
Well, that's the difference. I think the competitiveness that they have daily. And I guess there's be no more trapping in the corner with those inbounds passes.
Win today for Kentucky. They win the conference outright, which would be their 46th consecutive. They've got a tie with their win this past week. The try by Andrew Harrison.
Yeah, they were in a matchup and he walked. Good play defensively. Just the little things they do on a consistent basis. Aaron, just real solid. Well, how about the hesitation? The little baby with the kiss. And then Alice. Not too bad. Look at that. No extension of the off arm either. They've knocked that down.
Today, Arkansas with 2 points off turnovers. They're in the top 5 in college basketball with them. Just 2 this afternoon. Kentucky's got 11 points off turnovers.
They don't cough it up, though. Good, solid judgment. And again, you got that.
Well,
Speaking of it, yeah.
And let's see what happens. Watkins at the very front, and he gets it to go.
A nice pass in the soul. And right away, Cal's furious. He's got his arms up. If you do make mistakes that he feels are not those that are within the framework, you're going to come out.
Here's Booker. Ball's on him. Andrew Harrison.
Nice hesitation again.
Trey Lyles.
Wow. Just put it on a platter. Where's the waiter?
Well, it's coming off the bench when Alex Poitras was playing. Then he blew, Poitras did, his knee in December. Well, then Lyles, starting role at that time. Corey Williams. Manny Watkins. Picked off Andrew Harrison. 3-on-2.
Good trail. Booker. Pretty. And the field. Just terrific analysis by Andrew Harrison. The run by Booker.
Largest Arkansas deficit. Calls. Oh, and he is a high flyer.
Ooh, I hope he is okay.
Boy, he came and contorted as he hit the deck.
He had that bad ankle, too. A little concerned, but just the delay, the look away. And Booker with the finish at the rim. Just unselfish and great understanding.
Watch this. Lyles picking up his third.
Ooh, how does he not get hurt?
I don't know.
It's under contortions.
This is a wonderful play. The junior from Shreveport, Louisiana. And again, repeating for this Arkansas team, second place, and I think headed for the NCAA tournament. I think they're pretty safe in saying that with a 23-5 record. And they've won 7 straight, 10 of 11, coming in quals. Very much a part of why they are where they are.
And this is going to be a tough out in the NCAA, too, because they just do the same thing. They come at you on both ends of the floor. They play loose and confident, hard-nosed, tough defense.
Portis is in. Bell have come in now for Arkansas.
And it just spins out of where the trap is. Great feel.
Booker, Ulis, Pauly Stein, Towns, and Lyles. The Kentucky 5.
Nice screen, and look at this easy one.
Trey.
Too easy. Towns sets up a roadblock. Lyles pays the toll.
That's one of those ways they help each other. Bell from outside with the 3. Watkins picked it up with a foul on Kentucky inside. At the 9:32 mark of the second half.
The foul is on.
Now look at this little cross screen. It's just so tough to get around. You almost have to definitely switch that. And the softness inside around. Wow. Gives him a lift.
Towns just picked up his third. And so they go to the bench, and Dakari Johnson will check in. Michael will inbound. Michael Qualls.
They're happy, too. Nice slip to the rim here on the inbounds. Look, you don't get anything easy.
Moses Kingsley was surrounded.
Everything is a labor. And Mike is really upset again. He thought it was a deflection.
This helped defense of Kentucky. The way they rotate defensively has been about as impressive as anything I've seen.
Well, if you do make a mistake somehow, and they're very good keeping the ball in front of them, they got somebody in the back. A lot of guys will lead him to them. They don't do that, but they're there to provide the lift if you do get by.
Approaching 9 to play. Booker.
And no bad shots, by the way. Seldom do you say that with this team. Here's the baseline rubs for Booker.
Here he fires.
There you go.
That's his there. You saw it.
Yep. How do you play that? You go over the top, he fades. You trail him, he knocks it down.
Arkansas has their largest deficit of the season right now, as Kentucky is shooting well over 51%. Look at the length of Kentucky. With Johnson, Lyles, and Towns.
And you see how they challenge the shot? Look at this. They go after the rebound.
A really Pauly Stein out there.
Inadvertent little knock, but just an understanding of how to deal with the screen. Just solid play. You trail, you don't hip hug, you pay.
Bell picked up his third.
Also
and they bring back in Alandis Harris.
Coming out is Kingsley.
Moses Kingsley will go, and here comes the freshman once again back on the court.
Also checking in
Anton Beard, starting the last 9 games. He takes a team high 13 charges. One of the ways he tried his way into that starting lineup. Coach Mike Anderson, 4th year. Was at Missouri, and before that UAB. Took UAB to the Sweet 16, Missouri to the Elite 8.
Same play, better result.
Pauly Stein, Ulis.
Oh, I thought he may have walked there. Kept that pivot foot, though. If they break you down, then you've got the bigs to contend as well.
Pauls tries to dig his way in. Pauly Stein picks up the loose ball.
Now, right now, they smell it, too. They are really putting it on.
You're right, Ulis, the 3! You're right. Kentucky smells blood.
Now, you pay a lot of attention to skyboard to the bigs, but if the guards are able to turn the corner and just break you down, this just a little hit, discard, little step, gather, kiss, that little guy.
How about these point guards around the country?
Pretty impressive. Melo Trimble got a bang out of him. We saw Russell, not his best game, but a great player. This is a kid who really has a great feel on his penetration and finding people. And Tyus Jones, we had a couple of weeks ago, does he like the ball coming down the stretch?
Beard and Portis. Portis has put in 11. A dive inside by Qualls.
I love it.
One thing about these kids, and they know they're going to meet a wall, and they're going to get hit hard with the physicality of Kentucky. They don't blink. They just fly in there right with the teeth of that D.
That's why I like them. They don't pack the tag. Keep after it.
Kentucky is shooting 75% in the second half at home against Arkansas. Beginning here toward the end of the regular season, you take a look at some of the numbers. 11 of 15 field goals in the second half have come in the paint by Kentucky. Now, Bill, let's step back a little bit. You've played the game, you've coached the game, you've broadcast the game. Give us some perspective on what you're seeing in this Kentucky team.
You've never saw my teams, obviously.
No, not that I didn't want to.
They are amazing. You know, the Alcindor group, or the Walton group, the Lucas team at Ohio State, Bill Russell's team. I was a young baby, saw them play in the Garden. You know, this team, I don't think anybody's as deep quality-wise. I don't know if you'd agree with that or not. They are able to take anybody out and replace them and keep it level or move it forward. I don't know if you can do that. Now, having said that, you know, it's a tough run in the NCAA. Just one bad night. Size-wise, I think a team that could beat them has to compete size-wise as well as at the perimeter. So, you know, who is that? Now, there are some teams that can. Maybe we talked about Wisconsin because they have size up front, a great front line. Gonzaga does, Arizona does. And of course, Duke with Okafor is certainly one of those fantastic performers that they can maybe control the game a little bit.
Well, let me ask you, these are possible #1 seeds. As a foul goes for a third time on Johnson, can any of these guys beat that team on the top?
Well, the one thing about Virginia, you know they're going to control the game. They're not going to let you go up and down. I mentioned Gonzaga can beat Duke's great defense, and Villanova's a team that stretches you, doesn't have the size, but fantastic ability. Anybody can perform from deep, so they don't rely on one or two guys, which is similar to certainly Kentucky in that particular area.
Off of Andrew Harrison, out of bounds it goes.
And Mike's kids will get a lot out of this game, and they may get an opportunity in the SEC tournament to get another shot.
They've had a terrific season.
Nice little screen, gets the open look, and that's all you got to do. Good shot. Ringing the bell. They got to fix the net.
Madden is a 1,000-point score, and here they go back once again. Almost, you know, you reach into the bag, you pull out one thing. It's amazing.
I'm just saying, what a come down now with these subs. It's going to kill them. They could lose this.
Yeah.
And that's why you were on your toes and alert as a player in this program. And Cal is a great way of tweaking great players.
Aaron Harrison, by the way, Aaron Harrison has 5 steals today defensively for the Kentucky Wildcats. That is a career high. 6.5 to go.
This hasn't happened in a while, right? Or at all, under 10. That's their tough play. Dribble handoff, well defended.
Aaron Harrison was defended well by Arkansas, who has not let up. Even though they've trailed by a ton, they have not given up.
Now, there's a lot of character in this team and this program. There always has been, stemming from Nolan's days.
After their best start is Arkansas. It's the mid-90s.
And speaking of that, Scotty Thurman, the radio announcer and player enhancement coach. Well, they could use him today, right?
Well, good tradition at Arkansas, certainly with the national championship in '94. Here comes Harris. Ooh, was he just sideswiped by Cauley Stein?
That was an armpit block. I mean, that's how long he is. Goodness. Terrific concentration. Early in the game, he put his stamp on this.
Towns is the one that picks it up. Here is the Houston Cougar transfer. Landis Harris. For 1,100 points in his career at the two schools.
Explosive kind of a player. Can drive it, create some noise.
SEC winning streak by Arkansas 7 consecutive games, the longest since the 93-94 season. 12 wins, the most since 94-95 in conference play.
Nice try to go backside there by Qualls, but it's tough. It takes you quite a while to get around towns.
You're driving around town. Here's Qualls with his second foul.
Calvin's going to have nothing of trapping in the corner the way they inbounds it now.
6-0 run by the Razorbacks.
But Lyles is really coming around, isn't he? He's a performer. That shot, nice fake, nice give.
Andrew Harrison, tap in try by Trey Lyles, and picked up by Qualls, who's running at this breakneck speed from the get-go. He hasn't slowed down.
No, his effort's fantastic.
Foul called. Kentucky Willie Cauley-Stein on the drive by Harris.
It's tough to win here. A lot of referees in blue.
The foul is on Cauley-Stein. That's his third.
At 23,000.
Yeah, they get into it. It is a fantastic. Folks, if you ever get an opportunity to come to a game down here, you may have to wait a couple of years to get a ticket. But it is a special arena.
Harris at the line.
It's been a while since Arkansas has beaten a number 1. You've got to go back in the regular season. You got to go back. We went back to look. Last time they beat a number 1. 1984 in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. There was a game. I'll give you I won't tell you the opponent. The guy that hit the game-winning shot was Charles Ballantyne. Who do you think they beat that day? A number 1 in '84.
It's not Vegas, is it?
Nope, but not a bad guess. Think blue.
You got me.
Carolina. Michael Jordan.
Carolina blue. Oh, okay.
They beat. That probably wasn't a very good clue. Beard is down. He was just steamrolled by Lyles.
Gives Mike Anderson another reason to complain. He thinks he was steamrolled. That's his guy, too.
Mike likes this kid.
Yeah, he knows the toughness, reminiscent of the way he plays. And, he's right. I mean, we were looking down at the ball, and that would have been an easy one to call, really. They're going to look at the monitor to see if they can't call a foul on it. They just want to see if it was dirty.
And watch the shoulder. It's not.
Suggesting they're looking to see if there was any movement of that arm, but I think it's just a missed call. You just got to go with it. And nothing vicious at all. And this is a safe call. But, doctor, this is when you hope you have insurance.
The good news is he's up and he's okay, but he didn't take that shoulder. I don't know, ever so slightly that looked maybe to kind of come in there. But again,
it's just a call that was let go.
Yeah, exactly.
A play on. And the toughness of Beard back, ready to go.
Arkansas with their highest ranking, number 18, equals their highest ranking this season, number 18 in the country.
You know, Kevin, what impressed me with Kentucky is they really didn't get flustered with the press.
No.
They attacked it, or they got across and ran their stuff. Just a solid approach. Again, the fingerprints of Cal.
Ulis got it up and in. Oh, my goodness. And Portis the other way. As he puts it through, Portis with 13. And he averages over 17.
Well, Tyler's concentration is pretty special to make that shot. But again, nobody reacted defensively.
In front of Ulis is 5'9", but when things get tight or they want to close an opponent out, he usually is in there.
Quickness, too. Good foot balance. Nice hesitation. He's done that 3 times tonight.
Andrew Harrison. Towns grabbing. Stripped to the ball. It's out of his hands and out of play.
Well, anytime you dribble drive, this little just terrific effort. Staying with it, knowing the shot clock as well. 12 and 9 this half for the little guy with the big ticker. Ooh, stick him with it.
High school basketball in Chicago for Tyler Ulis.
And one thing when you drive and get in the lane for the Kentucky team, any help, the bigs just sniff it out and get to the rim. Likes that attack. John Calipari applauding. The one thing he said to both of us, he wants the Harrisons. When they go, we are a different team. How about the expressions by Cal?
He knows the levers to pull and the buttons to push. John Calipari has got a #1 team, and they're circling over their 29th consecutive win. We continue in Lexington with a look at the AT&T Fast Analysis.
And there was some speed out the floor and the ability to read screens. Devin Booker, great on a little head fake, jukes his guy to run out, gets him to the free throw line. And if you don't trail him properly, he knows how to reverse, get his man set up, and totally losing and the confidence to know where he is and can I deliver the knockdown? He certainly can.
Kentucky has led from the get-go. It would be the 12th wire-to-wire win this season for them. With 3:59 to go here in the contest. Booker.
Did you do games for his dad?
I did. Melvin Booker.
Yeah,
Missouri.
Missouri.
Yeah. Melvin, I think, is here someplace.
Yes,
he
is.
He's going to be up in the stands watching. Qualls. Good to see Beard out there. Trey Lyles will watch Qualls and picked up by Cauley Stein with the quick outlet going to Ulis. But Kentucky obviously is slowed down here a little bit. He got some time.
He's taking some time off.
Sure is. Portis getting his hands in there, saved by Lyles. Cauley Stein.
Pretty good handle for a big guy. Not that
bad.
You want him to be the pull out so much for that, but nice read.
Good steal. Madden, Portis.
I love this. These kids are great to watch.
They don't stop.
No. A lot of guys would have their head down.
Absolutely.
The Dobbers speaks well for the whole program.
I'm going to go right back into the full court.
Yeah.
Portis 15, Qualls 14. They've led this team in scoring 24 of 28 games. One of those two all season long. No doubt. And Qualls has had a bad wheel coming in that he had the other night against A&M.
Just using the clock, as you noted. Nothing in a hurry. Nursing his baby home.
You know, one thing about the Southeastern Conference, it is improved this year. I think people would say with Towns knocking one off.
I would agree with you too, Kev. What do you think, 6 maybe?
Well,
Georgia has a chance. What's
two conversation. Here comes Qualls. He digs it out. Comes the other way with his 14 points, and again principally flies inside. And a foul. You want to see it, Bill? You're going to see him right now.
What admiration for Qualls too. Yeah,
they've got 6 teams in the top 60 RPI.
That's good. What a change. They asked them to schedule in a stronger fashion. November, December they did. Just great. You know, LSU played this Kentucky team great. I mean, this is one of those teams that gets into conference. And Ole Miss as well. We talked about that earlier in the game. It changed the look quite a bit. It made them work a little bit hard, threw their rhythm off.
Cauley Stein picks up his 4th. Not since 08 has the conference had that many teams possibly get in. 6. With a shot there by Qualls. We talked earlier in the game about an injured Wildcat who continues to rehab from ACL surgery. That was Poitras. He was starting. Yeah, oh my gosh. They just plugged in somebody else, but Poitras is coming back, and he was the guy that they were counting on. They had 6 rotational players come back to the team this year.
And what's nice about them, the guys, they're mature, they've been down the road, they understand Cal. I think it's been helpful to these youngsters.
Alex Poitras blew the knee in mid-December. Shot clock at 4. Cauley Stein.
I like the challenge.
Portis,
is he all right? He's hopping as he came back.
Yeah. Madden attacking. And what else? That's exactly what Arkansas will do. Minute and a half to play.
Nice spin.
Nice spin is right. Harris, Alandis Harris puts it through.
Away from traffic. Mike with the quick TO, but some good individual moves. Why not? 7 foot and change. Take it to the 10. Woo, aggressive. What a ball game he has had. Strong, solid effort.
everybody's Super Bowl. It's always everybody's biggest game, and that would, for Calipari, I guess, get your team up, and you would never get bored because you always know you're going to get the best shot from the opponent.
Right, and the away games, you know, the fans are all anticipating watching this team and hoping their team prevails, but well, you've got to do so many things well. You've got to match their competitiveness, the talent, the size, and how about the stroke, getting them clean looks on a regular basis.
Kingsley to Madden to Bird. Over Lee, who just checks in, and Baird hits that shot. Anton Beard, who knocks it in, the freshman from North Little Rock, Arkansas. He said this to start the game. He is the current SEC Freshman of the Week.
They just don't stop, though. That's what I love.
Beard hitting it. This is the third consecutive game that Kentucky has led wire to wire.
How about this cross? Boy, is he impressive, this kid. Just breaks you down. Oh, he's smooth, understated control.
Beard, he's gone. Anton Beard picks it up. He is out for Arkansas, and it's the 46th title for Kentucky. They win this one outright with the win today over the 18th ranked Razorbacks. They had gotten a tie, at the very worst, with their win earlier in the week.
And 101 wins, right? And 105, right?
Yes.
Pretty good.
29 consecutive wins. After today, 2 regular season games left. They'll play at Georgia on Tuesday. That'll be tough. Florida back here next week. Bring in some other players now for the Kentucky Wildcats. Ulis at the line. Chance for all these kids to see some time. Dominique Hawkins set to check in the game. E.J. Florial will check in.
Yeah, we talked earlier today off air. Kaywood Ledford, the renowned announcer. I mean, the people in this state just love their game. It's a tribute to them as well. They demand excellence and they get it. We mentioned Joe B. Hall earlier. Of course, won it in '78 in St. Louis.
He's always here. Yeah, that 7-8 with Goose Gibbons.
Yeah. I
the old Checker Dome.
I always say to Jimmy Spinarco, one of our associates, you know, Jack Gibbons, do you guys know that the foul line was open as Jack teed it up with regularity? Joe B. I did clinics in Ireland with Joe. We had a few evenings together.
Really? Now that catches no one by surprise.
He did the morning clinic. I did the afternoon.
Keaton Miles is in. He's a junior from Dallas. Transfer from West Virginia, yeah. Name is familiar. Out of bounds it goes. Kentucky. Bill has not trailed for the last 143 minutes going back to their February 17th game against Tennessee. Amazing mark.
You've got it all.
You got Mr. Stats here. 8.3.
Timeout, Arkansas. That is a 30
He called timeout. He wants to keep the refs here. His way of retaliating.
Bill, we are 2 weeks and a day away from Selection Sunday.
Unbelievable. What a great evening that is. In some cases, absolute joy.
Well, we haven't publicly thanked all the people on our truck. We thank them for a terrific day here in Lexington. Nick Babb has come in the game. That's a shot outside, which is taken by Watkins, and that will do it. Kentucky has won its 29th consecutive game. They go to 16-0 in the conference. They win the conference championship outright, leading by 16.5. Kept the margin in double digits for the final 22 minutes. Tonight on CBS, NCIS Los Angeles, followed by back-to-back episodes of 48 Hours. For Bill Raftery, Kevin Harlan saying good night from Lexington. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports, home of the Men's National Championship. Now taking you to Greg Gumbel in New York after these messages.